Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. All right, this is going to be kind of a scattershot reading on minor things going on with the Trump trial that I don't normally wouldn't warrant a full reading themselves. But amongst them, it's going to be apparently Eric Trump and Ken Paxton showed up for Trump's court appearance on Tuesday. That's interesting. This article I was reading, a little like editorial piece, was commenting that it seems like Team Trump is paying attention to what the media is saying and then making adjustments on the fly. So when Donald Trump, it was noted that Donald Trump was sitting alone during sidebars. And so after that, a lawyer was always sitting with Donald Trump during sidebars. It was noted that Trump's falling asleep during the trial. So there's always a pile of papers and things to engage Donald Trump so he doesn't fall asleep as often during the trial. It was also noted no family members showed up. So Eric Trump all of a sudden shows up at least in one court case to show that his family cares and he's there. I can imagine the Jeffrey Dahmer comparison. Even Jeffrey Dahmer had family show up to his trial, probably stung a little bit there. So I want to read on Eric. I want to read on Paxton. Trump keeps complaining about the temperature in there. Maybe I'll throw on that. I don't know why the man can't wear a warmer coat or some layers like the rest of us. Seems like these life skills passed him by. He's talking about Charlottesville. He's been rambling about Charlottesville. Lord knows why that's coming up. But obviously something is triggering him. Maybe it's just watching all these college protests going on, and he doesn't understand why people aren't coming out to protest for him. So he's trying to put in images of Charlottesville to try and get his supporters riled up, because he was like saying Charlottesville was nothing compared to Lord knows what he was comparing it to. I still don't know. The man, he's a walking word salad. Okay, entertainment purposes only. Let's just dive in. Eric! Let's start with Eric. He took a break from his big tub of paste and came down to the courtroom. What's the energy around Eric Trump? Entertainment purposes only. Okay, we got the Emperor. Somebody had to bring a bathrobe for the Emperor because he's got no clothes on. I think he's trying to help bolster his father, his strength. Like, Trump is still the head of Trump Org. He's also still the head of the Trump spawn. So I don't think of Eric as being the Emperor. It could be being a take charge kind of guy. It's about messaging. Oh, that's right. He did say that Donald Trump has a lot of stamina over the weekend, and he got taken to task for that, or on Monday. He got taken to task for that. This is Sleepy Don Snorleone, the man falling asleep in court. I think the media's observations are making Trump look very, very human, not very emperor-like. And the observations that are making are chinks in the emperor's armor. So, again, with the counsel sitting next to him, trying to prevent him from falling asleep, and having no family members there. This is Team Trump trying to do damage control to sort of cover up the chinks in the emperor's armor, because he's not wearing any armor. He's bare-ass naked. It's all about messaging, though, because the messages are getting through, and if the messages are getting through to Team Trump, it's getting through to other people too. God, can you imagine if this case was televised? Can you imagine them just zooming in on him as he's drooling into a cup? Oh, that would just be amazing. In the past, we got the Two of Wands. This is week 2. I think the first 2 weeks of the trial. Jury selection. Yeah, you had jury selection for the first week, and then all this testimony from last week. 2 weeks in, and things aren't looking good in Trump world. And, again, Team Trump is doing damage control as we are entering week 3 here, almost done with week 3. So they have to do damage control. current situation, and again, Eric wasn't there for the first 2 weeks. Maybe he had things to do. Maybe there was concrete he needed to pour. Current situation is the double card, and I'm laughing because it's like it's your turn. You have to go to court this week. I would imagine going forward, you're going to see the Trump spawn taking turns. Maybe they'll be there for a day or two. Maybe they'll be like 2 days in a row type of thing. And then it's going to be your week is next week, and your week's the week after that. This is just one of those things. Oh God, who was it? Which one of the readers was I seeing that they were teasing that the reason why Melania and the kids weren't showing up is it wasn't in their contracts. It's just like, oh, that's a brutal takedown, but it's believable with these guys. Oh, yeah, this is paying homage to the devil, but yes, what? There's a Black Panther about to join here. He's gearing up here. There he is. Some people wonder how come the black cat hasn't been in these readings. Well, Nico's been looking out windows and napping and doing all sorts of cat things. But apparently, those cat things can be put on the back burner for a moment. Dad sounds like he's having way too much fun reading on Eric Trump, and now he's going to make a cameo. A cameo appearance. Hello. How are you? I'm going to have to throw cards on you then. Where was I? I think I was going to be on the overarching energy. We'll just have to run with it with that. Let's, if life gives you cats, you got yourself a new tarot cat. Tarot cat mat. Okay. That's right. The double card was the current situation. The overarching energy is the Knight of Swords. I think Eric, when he went to court, he saw things that he just couldn't believe. It's one thing to say that the media is against your dad and this, that, and the other thing. But if you're there and you're watching him fall asleep and you're smelling what you're smelling and you're seeing the evidence, I mean, he had to listen through. He was there when the lawyer, Mr. Davidson, was testifying. So he got to hear all the details of the negotiations going on. And I'm sure Eric has been in enough meetings where his father has negotiated stuff that he knows exactly what sounded legitimate and what did not sound legit. And I'm sure he's like, oh my God, he really did do this. Not that they should be surprised. I'm sure in the back of their mind, they probably suspect he did it or know he did it. But it's another thing to see the evidence on display, and there's no more. You can't fool yourself. There's no fooling yourself here. The lesson to be learned is the Seven of Swords. His dad's a crook. He knows his dad's a crook. His one day there is letting him know that this court case is going badly. His dad is going to be found guilty, and this is going to spell doom for Trump.org. He's already been judged for $450-something million in fines, plus another $100 million to E. Jean Carroll. And now he's going to be, guilty of 34 felonies. He's not going to get in the White House. He's not going to get out of this. He's going to be a felon. And you can imagine that Eric is also watching his trust fund just get absolutely flushed down the toilet. What's the lesson to be learned, or the outcome from this is the Five of Swords. Winner takes all. This is a ruthless family, and you're watching the emperor of this ruthless family just being taken apart by the district attorney. And there's no defense against that because the district attorney has all the swords. There's nothing for Trump to defend himself with. Eric, they tease him about, and I tease him too, eating a big bucket of paste. I think even he recognizes that things are not as good as Trump world would want them to be. Okay, we took a quick cat break. I just moved him on over to my computer chair over there, where he is currently lounging with a lazy flick of his tail. Yeah, it's kind of sad, isn't it? Go in there. I'm sure Dom Jr. and Eric, it's their father, and they want to idolize him. I'm glad he's not my father. I get it on some levels, but then you just get to see just his worst behavior on display. I guess maybe his kids believe everything that he tells them to. He's that convincing, I suppose. Maybe it's easier to believe him than to challenge him. Like, you can imagine living in that family. It's just easier to believe him and let things go, right? Than trying to hit him with truth bombs. Oh, how infuriating that must be. Just go live your own life. All right. Paxton was there. I wonder if they start talking about him filling his diapers. Maybe Paxton will go there to do some NASCAR-like oil pan changes. Oh, Ken Paxton, what are you doing there? I mean, other than the fact that you're probably hip deep in election interference yourself, and you really need Trump in there to pardon you for such things. Why was Ken Paxton there? Ten of Swords. And then I think it's just Paxton, I think, was just doing it to show loyalty. Nobody else is showing up. So I guess he figures if he shows up, that, if Trump for some reason were to be elected, he would be he wouldn't be in the first group of people to be publicly executed by Trump, because he showed some loyalty there. The Fool card. To be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if Paxton went there, because you can't get good New York pizza in Texas. It wouldn't surprise me even a little bit. I honestly, I think he's just trying to show support. He's that new chapter of his life, like, other people aren't showing up here, but I'll be there for you. It's about messaging. This is about messaging. This could be about trying to get support at home too. He's already been impeached. He's got other investigations on him, and maybe trying to get himself closely aligned to Trump will afford him some protection at home with the MAGA folks, and sends messages to prosecutors that he's close to Trump, and therefore he's a little bit more protected. In the past, we got the Ten of Cups. Paxton has been a big supporter of Trump, and Trump has been a big supporter of Paxton. They've had a good relationship, mutually beneficial relationships. And maybe that relationship hasn't been, he's trying to rekindle things before that relationship dies, type of thing. He doesn't want that relationship to die. He wants a new chapter on it. That could very well fit. Behind the scenes negotiations, money related. I don't know if Paxton needs to be fundraising. Maybe Paxton's got some money for Trump, but there's some dealings going on, some backroom dealings going on here. Maybe some things that Trump wants to be involved with, or has his finger in the pie, as it were. But there's some money dealings. This wasn't just for support. It was. That was a big reason of it. But there's other stuff too. There's other stuff too that they want. It's secret. Yeah. There's some secret negotiations, some secret money stuff going on between the two of them. If you get convicted, you can flee to Texas, and I wouldn't extradite you. That fits. That actually fits. Think about that. If you come to an end in New York and you need a new start, come down to Texas, where you're beloved. I'm the Attorney General. Extraditions would have to go through me, and I would deny them. I would deny extradition because, mind you, these are state charges. So it's not like it's the feds sending the federal marshals to go get this guy. This is the state. And if he were in Texas at the time, you have to negotiate with Paxton. Trump doesn't have to leave the state. Of course, if Trump leaves the state, he's not under Paxton's protection. So it's kind of like house arrest in Texas. Maybe he could get him working on that wall, because it'll be a prison wall for him. Yeah, there's some shady dealing going on between these guys. It wouldn't surprise me. Lesson to be learned is the 5 of coins. Leaving things out in the cold. If it's a fundraising thing or there's some money thing, there's money that's not coming through. People are, again, like if Trump had his finger in the pie, maybe he's not getting his share. Or maybe Paxton was coming looking for money, but he's going away empty-handed. Or if Trump needs a place to flee to escape the authorities, Texas is his place. The outcome is the emperor. Yeah, whatever this is about Paxton's position as the attorney general. There's shenanigans going over here. This could also be just giving Trump a heads up as to kind of what's going on with election interference in Texas, and how they're going to how he's going to help seal up Texas for Trump. And maybe a little something on the side to help finance the operation would be good. But yeah, Paxton was there for messaging. He was there for messaging. That he's trying to keep this relationship alive. God, but that would be... Okay, so now I have to throw on that. If Trump were convicted in New York, would Paxton offer him safe haven? It'd be a sanctuary city, a sanctuary state. Would Paxton allow Trump to go to Texas as a sanctuary state, so he wouldn't be sentenced in New York? Now, that would be wild, because that would assume that he gets a prison sentence. But if he gets a prison sentence, it'd be appealed, and he'd probably be out on his own recognizance on appeal. Is Paxton... is he going for money, or is he going for sanctuary? I don't see where they're necessarily mutually exclusive. Let's see. Right there. Let's do this. We don't know, and we're not going to tell you. Neener, neener, neener. Okay, fine. Spirit, be that way. But it's an agreement between the two of them, so Spirit will tell us that much. And they're really happy with their agreement. I'm laughing because I was wondering if that card was going to show up for my Marjorie Taylor Greene reading. Strong action being taken. 2 of Pentacles. I think it's more... there's probably a couple things. There's a money component or a value component going on. I think this is more to do with elections and keeping, election interference and stuff, and the plans that they have in place that are going to help Trump take Texas illicitly. But that doesn't mean that wouldn't be a safe haven place for him to go. It just means that I get the Moon card. It means I don't know, and they're not telling. But again, that's the Moon card. So, Major Arcana. Something of significance. That wasn't just showing up to one up the Dahmers. Okay. Why won't Trump... Why does he keep complaining about the temperature of the courtroom? And he just sounds so whiny when he does that. Is he trying to elicit the the affresco moment, which means to be in the cool air? Now most people think of affresco as dining a fresco, dining outside, or driving a fresco, driving with the top down on your car. But in Italian, it's a euphemism for being in prison. When you're talking about the cool air, it's the cool air of prison or jail. Okay, so why does he keep talking about the cool air in prison? Page of Cups. It's just messaging to his supporters for whatever reason. Just it's like just like mini inconvenience torture. It's persecution. It's just a persecution complex. They're doing this to me on purpose, and his supporters are persecutors. The thing I don't get though is they talk about the blue-haired, nose-pierced liberals as being little whiny snowflakes, yet he's the one who can't handle the temperature changes. Maybe what he unconsciously doesn't realize is that he's saying he's old. Because as you get older, you are less tolerant of cold weather, which is why older people tend to move to warmer climates. I'm not making that up. That's what I've been told. That's what I've read. That is what the trends are. Older people do not move to, northern Montana. They move to Miami. They move to Arizona. They move to warmer climates. And it's funny. It's funny because it's like he doesn't realize he's self-owning himself, and his support doesn't get it. But he wants to take action. Maybe, again, if he feels like he's being oppressed, he's just trying to rile people up with just minor stuff. Just anything that gets him riled up here. In the past, we've got the Hermit card. Hermits in low energy, they live in caves. And it's almost like there's this subconscious thing going on. I think this is like a subconscious thing with Trump, that he's gearing his folks up that he might be spending some time in jail. And maybe he wants them to do something about it. Because, again, as I was talking about alfresco being Italian for in the cool air, which means being in jail, that's what that would be. I think he's messaging to folks. It's a little bit subliminal. He's not usually subliminal, but he's messaging to folks. Again, he's just trying to outrage him. The drunken hillbilly brawl card's coming out here in the current situation. He does not understand why you have all these young people protesting at all these universities and nobody's coming out to help him. I mean, for God's sake, people, it's cold in there. It's freezing. Brr, why aren't you out here storming the courtroom? It's cold in here. Did you not hear me? It's cold in here. Bring your tiki torches. Bring your tiki torches. Light them up. We've got to heat the place up. Did I tell you it's cold in here? Oh, God. Maybe his protesters will fire up their little Smoky Joes or something like that. Get some charcoal briquettes going and get him a hot dog or a hamburger so he can go over there and eat and warm his hands by the fire. All Valley Forge-like. Overarching energy is the Judgment card. I'm sorry, I'm cracking myself up. Yeah, he's trying to rally his base. Did I not mention it's cold in here? Good Lord, could you imagine that this is his winning strategy, to tell his base he's cold? All that outrage in Texas. Maybe that's why Paxton was there, to tell him how cold Texas was in the wintertime. So Trump has to up his game. A lesson to be learned is the the Six of Swords. Nobody's showing up. No matter how much you tell them you're cold, they're not there to riot. They're not responding to this burden that he's bearing. Oh my God, it's terrible. And Trump's stuck in courtroom. He can't go out and campaign. He's stuck in that cold courtroom. Where is everybody? Bring your tiki torches. I'm glad I asked. Oh, so stupid. Oh, and that's probably why he's bringing up Charlottesville, too. He's trying to remind you. Remember the time you had your tiki torches in Charlottesville? It wasn't even cold then. That was like summertime. It's freezing. Get your tiki torches over here. I don't know. Maybe Eric will bring like those little warm packs, that you break. Maybe a heated throw. I wonder if there's a plug nearby where Donald could get a heated throw. Oh, and folks, if they're not there, can you imagine if the courtroom was warm? First off, you'd fall asleep because it's warm. But second, odors get a bit stronger in warmer rooms. The air molecules are much more active and moving about. Wouldn't that be a lovely aroma to share with everybody? Oh, so will Trump's base show up with their tiki torches to warm him up? He's cold, Not since Valley Forge has any American future president or future president suffered as much as he has. I wonder if he'll take his shoes off and wrap rags around and walk around barefoot. I'm leaving this here. This is ridiculous. Thank you very much for joining me on this ridiculous reading. We went from eating paste to Trump fleeing to Texas to bring your tiki torches. I'm freezing. Thank you for and a cat, and the cat storming the reading as well. Thank you for feeding the YouTube algorithms so this video makes it out to a wider audience. To folks discovering this channel recently or for the first time, welcome to the channel. We don't always have cats jumping on the table. We don't always laugh this much, but we do laugh a lot. I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.